Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tennis. A big show on hand today. We're going to look at who's hot leading into the Australian Open. The draw has just come out last night, so we're going to look at who's in form coming in for both the men and the women. Okay, coming in first, who's hot? Nick Kyrgios took out the Brisbane International, defeated Dimitrov in the semis in 3 sets after dropping the first set, so that's massive for him, a huge comeback. He also defeated Harrison 6-4, 6-2 in the final. I'd say he's back in best form. Honestly, I'd say he's pretty much back in his best form, and I think that he can more or less make the, quarterfinals of the Australian Open. Always difficult to judge because, we're not going to go ahead and predict the draw and all that kind of stuff. But I would say, honestly, in his best form, Kyrgios, he can make the quarterfinals. And a dream run for him, I believe, would be the semis, which I do think is doable. It is possible for him. I still have a question over just his shot selection in crucial points. I have watched him a lot recently, and I still do find that occasionally he will sort of, go for a sort of, flashy or flamboyant shot when a simple shot can win him the point. Instead, he'll go for something tricky, and then he'll get caught out for it. Other times, he could have easily passed a player at the net, and, instead he'll just try for a nice little sort of dinky sort of slice lob that, he doesn't pull off and the player just smashes it easily for a winner. So, look, aside from that, Kyrgios, such a talented player. Right now, he's really playing his best tennis, and that's why I put him in there. Right in contention, I think. Yeah, quarterfinals, if not semi-finals. Another player running hot, obviously, Roger Federer. Okay, undefeated in 2018 thus far. Ripped up in the Hopman Cup, won all his Hopman Cup matches, and honestly, let's be honest, it's Federer. I think he can win the tournament. Obviously, with Murray out and Djokovic not playing his best tennis. Djokovic lost to Hewitt in the tiebreak 10s the other night. I know it's just tiebreak 10s, it's not a real tennis match, but still, Hewitt's a retired. He's just come back from retirement to play the doubles actually in the Australian Open, but he's a retired singles player now for a few years, and for Djokovic to not even beat him in a super tiebreak, look, I know it's just a super tiebreak, but even so, I think Federer really has a big chance of winning this Australian Open based on his current form and just the fact that the draw is quite open for him with the omission of some of his key rivals and also other rivals that aren't quite 100%. Another player running hot, you may not know this one, a young gun from Australia, Alex de Minaur. He's 18 years old. This guy is currently in beast mode. He was ranked outside the top 200 at the start of the year. Okay, he was ranked outside the top 200 at the start of the year. And he beat Raonic to make it all the way to the semis in Brisbane. He's currently still in the Sydney tournament. He's taken out Fernando Verdasco so far this year. He just recently beat Feliciano Lopez. This guy's the real deal. And before the Australian Open draw came out, actually I had him probably making it to the third round of the Australian Open, knowing that he might meet a high-seeded player by then. Look, it's actually it's unfortunate for him. He's drawn he has drawn Thomas Berdych in the first round, so that'll be probably his biggest test to date. But the way he's playing, I love the way this kid plays. He's 18, but very mature, very strong mentally, and also the way he plays on the court, he really takes time away from his opponents. He's always playing right on or inside the baseline. I saw the way he was playing against Raonic, who's a big server. He was returning all of his serves well inside the baseline. So, if you got quick enough reactions, you can time the ball well enough like that and actually hit over the ball like he was doing, but whilst returning inside the baseline, that's massive because it just takes so much time away from the opponent. So, this kid is good, and he is so quick on the court. He reminds me a little bit of Leighton Hewitt in a way, in the sense that he really scrambles so well for every ball. But I think he plays a little more aggressive than Hewitt did as well. So, look, a young prospect. Keep a lookout for him. Very exciting to watch. Keep your eye on him. And we wish him all the best for the Australian Open in his first round against Thomas Berdych. Now looking at some of the women running hot. Simona Halep, the current world number 1. We talked about her in the last show. About, the fact that she has to win an Australian Open to try and, solidify her spot as the world number 1. Feel like a legitimate world number 1 that's now won a Grand Slam. She won in Shenzhen. She won the singles and the doubles. And I honestly think she can win. this is her chance to go all the way. There's no Serena. She's really a chance to win. I think she'll make it to the semi-finals. If she plays the tennis that she should be playing and has been playing so far, she can make the semis. Aside from that, she can also go all the way, that's for sure. So I'd say she's in pretty good form. Another one is Angelique Kerber. Okay, undefeated in 2018. She won all of her Hopman Cup matches. She beat Venus Williams in Sydney, and she's still powering through that tournament. Guys, let me know who you think's running hot. If you guys are following the tour quite closely, if you guys are following it closely, please let me know who else is running hot. Couple of honorable mentions, I guess we could say, for running hot. Gaël Monfils won in Doha. So, obviously, if you win the first tournament that you play of the year, I'd classify that as running hot. In saying that, though, Monfils didn't actually play any seeds in that tournament. So, again, is he really running that hot? I don't know. By his standards, he'll probably be happy that he won his first tournament of the year. But to be honest, I don't really see him going further than the round of 16 in the Australian Open. For me, he hasn't got that consistency at the high level. He's a very flashy player, pulls off great shots, but in majors, I don't know what it is. He has trouble beating those top caliber players that he has to face, obviously, in order to move further into those kinds of Grand Slams. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to be back in a couple of days. We've got plenty of material coming up. Of course, the Australian Open is coming up, so we're going to be following that very, very closely. Guys, let me know in the comment section below who you think is running hot. And guys, also, don't hesitate to let me know who you think is running cold as well. People that you think are not playing as well as they should. People you think are out of form. Anyway, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers, guys.